No. I'm live. So saith something. Looks like there is going to be a 20-second lag. Because I'm in StreamYard today. Right. So I don't know how I'm going to keep. Look at that. Gary Felling is live. Going to mute that because it sounds fucking stupid. Right. I'm just probably going to go ahead, assuming anyone is watching. I would like to show you do you see the little pointer thing? Not over there. Over there with a 0 little pointer counter with a 0 on it. This is going to be what we count a defux on. So we're going to see what number we get to. Because I curse a lot just when I make mistakes, which I also do a lot. So if you can hear me. Oh, hello. I am seeing people. I am seeing comments, but not from Facebook. I'm on StreamYard and the comments from Facebook aren't coming in. So I'm going to hang it on Facebook instead. Hello, Susan, and hello, Jay. Jay, I'm not sure if you've read this book. It's called Up Close and Personal. The author's only okay. I'm joking because it's you. Ha ha ha. I am so funny. Right. We are on chapter 14, and that is where we are going to start and finish today's session. Because I want to see if I can get my microphone a bit set up better so I can read the fucking Facebook comments. Oh, shit. There. I said a bad word. Now, it wasn't in the line of duty, like narration-wise, but I did say it. Plan. Please bring pizza pronto. No, popping the mic there, as you can probably hear. Just, the things we have to do. Nah, the narrator shit, mate. Terrible. He is so bad. I don't know. I can't come up with a good enough simile. I know that word. If I look up here, it's only because I'm pissed off at my green screen. Showing shadows of me, you bastard. Adjusting my light to make sure I can get the best coverage possible on my old green screen there, mate. Fucking thing. Considering how ghetto my whole setup is, it's actually all right. You know what I mean? Of course, we love the book. Jay, the narrator's all right. He's trying his best with this fucking green screen, mate. I will have your face, mate. I hate that. Wrinkles. Dirty wrinkles. Right. Let me see here. I'm also streaming on YouTube and Twitch. You mightn't have known that because I did an absolutely bollocks job of telling anyone, So I'm going to intermittently keep an eye on the fucking views, Look at that. I can put the mic over here. Turn it around. You know what I mean? Ooh, how fancy. That way I can see my screen, which I should have done. I should have done all this beforehand. But I'm a terrible live content creator, so I fucking didn't. There. I'm probably going to forget to do the fuck counter. And if that happens, fuck you. Right. Here we go. We're in chapter 14. Oh, sorry, got to check my phone there because I see a comment? Nope. No, I certainly didn't. Certainly did not. God almighty. Well, didn't get anything on the phone. You started with book 4. Get right back to book 1, Susan. Susan, what are you doing, mate? Get right back to book 4. Book 4, book 1. You're confusing me, Susan. Goodness gracious. Right, let's go. Let's get down to serious brass tacks. Look at that auto scroll. Isn't that beautiful? I've already said chapter 14. You just can't see. Look, you can't hear it either. Because, hello, Layla. I'm glad to see people are showing up. I shouldn't have put all my good stuff up here that I need to look at up here. Anyway, let's rock on with a chapter 14. Mark's plan was to get their statements done, discover what Liam, Josh, and fuck. Bastard, I'm hitting off the bloody wire. Mark's plan was to get their statements done, discover what Liam, Josh, and the scene techs had turned up, if anything, and then get to the hospital for their medical check, and down to the morgue in time for Tom Spencer to arrive. Mark knew Kerwin wouldn't be pleased about him being at that meeting, but since Spencer expected to see Edward, there was no way Mark wasn't going to be there to keep an eye on him. Book 2! The touchline. Crossing that shit. Crossing. Shut up, microphone. You're pissing me off, mate. Oh, dear. He had hoped the fact it was a Saturday would play in their favour, in that maybe DCI Kerwin wouldn't show his face this early. He could only hope. Kerwin would be pissed that Mark hadn't come in at the previous... Fuck off. I can't believe we're at 5 fucks already. God, I'm going to put this, I'm going to move this boy. Where are we going to move? Put him at the top corner there. Keep an eye on him. And we'll have a look there, see? See how he does there, mate? All right. Very good. Stupid cable, stop making noise, all right? Fucking cable. That one doesn't count. Thank you. It's on and off, you know. I have a vocal therapist, Renee, who, you know, I think is doing a great job, as is my singing teacher. So everyone's helping me along, you know. There we go. Found my place again. He could only hope. Kerwin would be pissed that Mark hadn't come in the previous night to formalise all the shit, and especially that he hadn't gotten them both seen to by a doctor straight away. But Mark's reasons were good, and Kerwin would come around. He could just do without the aggro in the process. Not to mention he still wasn't sure about... Fuck. Most excellent, Jay. Good luck. Best of luck to your husband on a plane. Not to mention he still wasn't sure how their attacker had found them. He didn't really suspect his boss, but his cop instincts were tingling something fierce that someone in the know was involved. At that hour of the morning, traffic was light, and they made it into the building's half-empty car park only a few minutes late, having picked up a bevy of coffee en route. A sober atmosphere greeted them as they exited the elevator into the brightly lit deck. Fuck off! En route. Excuse me. My goodness gracious. Gary Dose is on Twitch and is watching me. How's it going, my brother? I'm having to switch between Facebook and StreamYard because StreamYard is not showing the comments from Facebook. Thank you, Jay. There we go. That's a clean cut. Clean cut. A sober atmosphere greeted them as they exited the elevator into a brightly... A sober atmosphere... Fuck off. A sober atmosphere greeted them as they exited the elevator into the brightly lit detectives' enclave. A dozen or so detectives gathered over files and computers in the modern space, their solemn murmurings underscored by the shuffle of papers and furious tapping on keyboards. That was until Liam's booming voice broke through the thick tension. Everyone turned and got to their feet, and Mark felt a prickle of guilt for leaving them in the dark as he'd done. I'm up to 8 now, I think. Let me just stop this guy here because I want to get up a vocal reference here for Liam. But we're going to mess with my stream. No, it's not very good, thank you. Ah, never mind. I remember Liam. Mark! Liam strode across to them, looking exhausted, relieved, and thoroughly pissed off. Red-eyed, unshaven, and tie askew, he looked to have been there most of the night. Thank Christ you're here! Are you okay? Josh said the intruder broke your ribs. He switched to Edward without waiting for an answer. And what about you? Mark held up both hands to ward Liam off from attempting a full-on body search just to confirm things for himself. We're fine. We're heading to Auckland Med after this to make sure, but just bruised ribs, most likely. Edward's concussed and a bit unsteady, but nothing serious, all right? Liam's hands dropped to his sides, fists clenched. No! It's not a fucking... Liam's hands dropped to his sides, fists clenched. No! It's not all fucking right, he spat. What the hell, man? You dropped some serious shit on me last night and then disappear off the face of the fucking planet and don't tell me. Just as well Josh set me straight that you were okay. I was about to pull this damn city down looking for you. Mark slid his load of coffees to the table and clapped his partner on the arm. I'm sorry. I just needed to get Edward safe and time to think. I didn't mean to worry you. Liam eyed him dubiously. But for some reason you didn't want to tell me where you were. Mark said nothing. He didn't need to. And Liam called on quick. Quack! Quick, 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 quick. Okay. I'm going to let that go for the moment and chalk it up to shock and a trip down stupid street because if you don't fuck. Okay. I'm going to let that go for the moment and chalk it up to shock and a trip down stupid street because if you don't think you can trust me, we may as well call it quits right now. He cocked a brow at Mark, and the whole detective enclave fell quiet. Liam, Josh warned. Liam shrugged the caution aside. Mark winced. Look, how about you lot have your coffees, he pulled Liam aside, while we talk. Josh started for a moment. Shit. Ha, that was a shit, not a fuck. 3 platforms to juggle, Gyarados. Yes, indeed, 3. And if I was on Discord, 4. Ah, but I'm not. I talk. I don't know why Facebook won't show the comments. It's very annoying. Here we go, mate. Ooh. Josh stared for a moment, then nodded, and he and Edward began to hand the drinks out. Keep your voice down, Mark snapped at his partner. Liam was rigid with fury. Why? So everyone can keep speculating about why I had absolutely no fucking idea where my partner stayed the night after he was attacked and refused to come in to do his statement? And why even his best friend wouldn't tell me? Partner? I said I was sorry. We were at Cam and Ruben's second house out west. But come on, Liam. That attack was deliberate, on both of us. It wasn't some light-fingered rando caught in a house he shouldn't be in. The guy waited for us, timed his attack for when Edward and I were separated for a moment and the dog was outside. If Tink hadn't caught on to him, we might not be here talking right now. So forgive me for being a little paranoid. Apart from Edward, only you and Kerwin knew about a meeting. Or at least that's what I thought at the time. All kinds of truth is being allayed on this guy. They stared at each other for a moment before Liam finally relaxed his shoulders and parked his butt on the edge of a desk facing Mark, arms crossed. I took that call by the bar with at least 6 or 7 guys around me, and to be honest, I don't know how much any of them heard. It wasn't that noisy. The problem is, I was still there when you called about the attack, and most of the same guys were as well, which makes me their alibi and vice versa. 1 or 2 had left, and I'll follow up on those just to be sure. But we have no idea who Kerwin might have talked to, seeing as how the coroner's office is in play. Maybe he felt the need to give someone a heads up. Have to redo that line. Didn't like hearing that breath. Maybe he felt the need to give someone a heads up. It was true. There was no way to be sure exactly who knew about their meeting. Liam was right to be pissed at him. Yeah, I'm sorry. I realized that when I thought about it. So we play it by ear. You write a list of who was in that group at the bar and follow it up, and I'll check with Kerwin, see if he talked to anyone. We'll likely piss off half the station checking their alibis without being able to tell them exactly why. But hey, what could possibly go wrong? Well, don't count on being popular at the softball game on Sunday, that's all I'm going to say. 3 of the team, fuck you. Ooh. 3 of the team. 3 of our team were at the bar with me. Fuck. 3 of our team were at the bar with me. It'll be your round at the pub for the foreseeable future, I'm thinking. Shit. And just so we're clear on this, partner, there is no we in this investigation anymore. Cracked ribs, assault, and a witness? You're gone for a week easy. Desk duty at best. I'll send you flowers. But whatever. Besides, you're not done explaining yet. I want to know what other ideas are simmering in that butt-ugly head of yours. So go ahead, I'm listening. Mark filled Liam in on the... Fuck off. Now, where are we? Where are we? I have to find the rest of it. Oh, goodness gracious. 4 concurrent views, I tell you, so popular. I am. Absolutely. Why is my studio one crashing? Bastard! There we go. Not crashing anymore, but hey, it's doing alright, isn't it? Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead, I'm listening. Here we go. Let's find a fucking place. Mark filled Liam in on the details of what went down the previous night and his suspicions about the linked cases. To his credit, Liam listened without saying a word until he was done. The remainder of the detectives present went about their work, casting the occasional curious glance their way, but no one interrupted. Partner spats were like domestics, rife with the potential for blowing up in the face of anyone who interfered unnecessarily. Only Josh and Edward stayed close, keeping an eagle eye and sipping their coffees as they watched and talked. So why not just OD on the stuff? Mark finished. Mark finished, he finished. Why does he finish? All right. Where the fuck am I? Fuck you. Why go to bleh. Why go to all the effort of hanging yourself? Edward said the hair samples showed no evidence of long-term drug use, and the ketamine mix is a kind of odd choice for a scientist who you'd expect to know better. Plus, there was no traces of drugs in his house. Meaning he did what? Clean up, then go hang himself? That's pushing it, don't you think? But we can't know that's not what happened. It is possible. Barely. If you're a guy, home, alone and depressed, what's your first port of call? William sighed. Booze. No, stomach made a little grumble there. Booze. Exactly. And the guy's blood alcohol only pointed to a couple of drinks at most. Okay then. Liam cast an eye around the enclave and kept his voice low. God damn it. No one here knows about the Green case. Only about you and the good doc getting done over last night. Though I have to tell you, there were more than a few amused expressions wondering exactly what you were doing at his house on a Friday night. He held up a hand. Don't worry. I told them Newton had some additional autopsy notes you were picking up. Mark sent him a weak grin. Thanks. Ed won't appreciate any gossip. Liam nodded. You're welcome. But I'm at a loss how to explain the attack if you want to keep the other connected case quiet. That is... incorrectly delivered is what that was. But I'm at a loss how to explain the... Let me actually put this, we'll say... They probably hear it now soon to the microphone. You're welcome. Fuck off! You're welcome. But I'm at a... You're welcome. But I'm at a loss how... It should be public, Jay. Gerdermer. It should be public. Let me see if I can... It said it was public, so let me have a quick look here. Yeah, no, it's... Oh, sugar. Yeah, no, it's public. That's really odd. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. My goodness gracious me. Why is this making it so difficult? I'm going to make the YouTube link shareable. So that might be an easier one for them to use. Hold on tiny second. I will help. In a minute. That might be Whoa, it's playing. Do you hear? Okay. Okay. Of course, I should have just this link will also work, and it's YouTube, so the day YouTube stops letting people watch content is the day, I don't know, other stuff happened. I've been recording this the entire time. All of this is useless. Is any of it actually usable? You're welcome. But I'm at a loss. Nope, not 1 second of it is useful. Not one dirty little second. Not one slimy second is useful. Very good. Right, let me just check here what's going on with the fucking script. Ah, fuck, shit. Okay, just had a few bombs there. This is like, what's happening? Why is he doing it? No. Okay. Welcome. Well, there we go. Right on fucking track, mate. Right in the eye line. Let me tell you. Yeah. Right. You're welcome. But I'm at a loss how to explain the attack if you want to keep the other... Fuck. You're welcome. But I'm at a loss how to explain the attack if you want to keep the other connected case quiet, that is. It was tricky. Maybe just don't say anything for now. Leave it as a random and hope we get something more solid to give them tomorrow. We need Connor in those hospital computer systems now to see if he can find us something, anything. Get the warrant sorted and get him up there. Fuck! I'm not mad. Anything. Get the warrant sorted and do something else, I'm sure. I'm sure the book says to do something else. What that is, I can't rightly fucking say. Anything. Get the warrant sorted and get him up there. I've a sneaking suspicion that the report Edward found will be gone. At least he had the wherewithal to download a copy. He dug in his pockets. Here. Give this to Connor. I want copies coming out of our ears. Now that it's any good on... Goodness gracious. I tell you, I'm having to look at my phone for a thing. I'm sending a text message live on the internet. Can you believe it? Technology. Bloody hell. Oh, very good. It's working for them now. That's great. Good news. I'm very pleased to hear of this. Now that it's any good on... Fuck. Our ears. Now, let me see what is going on here. Right. Ears. The word ears. Right. Come on, fella, come on, guy! Why can't I find my place? Got it. Out of our ears. Not that it's any good on its own. We need Spencer to come clean. We don't have any fucking idea what it actually means. What ties this fuck means? Actually means. What ties the two cases together? It has to be something big to warrant all this shit going down. Did Connor have any luck with Bridges' laptop? Not yet. He got in, but it appears anything relevant has been deleted or he kept it somewhere else. Damn. And do you think Tom Spencer is going to cough up to fiddling the report? Not much in it for him to do that, I'd have thought. And that was the problem. Mark wasn't sure Spencer was headed that way either. Won't know till we talk to him, I guess. What about Kerwin? He's going to be all over my ass about this. And I repeat, he doesn't want you anywhere near this case. And he's right, you know. I tell you this, bad delivery on my part, you know, not very good. I just need to, like a little thumbs up. Look at that. You know, this case. Case. Do you know, I might just, nah. Fuck it. I'm not going to do it. Near this case. And he's right. You know he is. Mark did know. He wasn't sure how to get around it, just that he would. No one was going to keep him out of the loop if he had anything to say about it. Which raises another point. Liam leaned in and lowered his voice. You're a witness now, and so is Newton. You need to keep your hands off the guy. Mark tensed. What if that's too late? Liam's mouth dropped open. Are you saying I'm saying it's none of your business either way? But if we're already... Fuck. Mouth dropped open. Fucking bastard. Liam's mouth dropped open. His mouth dropped open. Are you saying I'm saying it's none of your business either way? But if we were already involved in some form, that would kind of negate the need for the whole stay away thing, right? Too late, horse already left the stable, as far as any jury is concerned. Liam stared as if trying to fathom the relative truth of his carefully chosen words, and Mark was mindful to keep his expression neutral. He didn't fully understand what neutral. He didn't fully understand what made him say it. It wasn't exactly the truth, but it wasn't exactly a lie either. Edward had left the decision to Mark, whose earlier confusion had abruptly cleared with Liam's warning to stay away from Edward. Something on a gut level railed against the very idea. And Mark wasn't having any of it, which answered several questions in one troubling emotional jerk to attention. Not that there was any time to unpack that shit now. Look, Liam hissed, his gaze stealing. I don't know what you think you're playing at, partner, but you better be damn sure you know what you're doing and what you're risking. Mark held his gaze, unflinching. Noted. Now is Kerwin here? Liam shook his head. But he knows? Everything? Of course he knows. He's a boss. And he's pissed as hell that you hadn't already fucking fucker. Yes. Who's mad? Because it isn't me. It's not me. Bastard. Already. Boss. Boss. He's a boss. And he's pissed as hell you hadn't fuck. He's a boss. And he's pissed as hell that you hadn't fuck. Come along, friend. He's a boss. And he's pissed as hell you haven't already made your damn... He's a boss. And he's pissed as hell that you haven't already made your damn statements. Not to mention you weren't answering your phone last night, and I couldn't tell him where you were. Be prepared for an ass grilling of epic proportions when he gets here. Hardly news. Well, he was the one who wanted to keep it a side investigation with just you, me, fuck. News. Well, he was the one who wanted to keep it a side investigation with just you, me. Yes. Well, he was the one who wanted to keep it a side investigation with just you and me until we were sure. And I'm guessing if the coroner's office didn't know before, they will this morning. He glanced Edward's way. Let's get Josh and Edward in this. Fuck. Edward's way. Glanced Edward's way. Let's get Josh and Edward in on this conversation. I don't know where I am in the script. It's fucking fuckity fuck foo. That doesn't count. I can't remember how many that was. Glanced Edward's way. Let's. Nope. What the fuck? There we go. Glanced Edward's way. Let's get Josh and Edward in this. Fuck. Glanced Edward's way. Let's get Josh and Edward in on this conversation, and then we can do the damn statements before we head to the hospital and catch up with Tom Spencer. Mark took a step towards the others, but Liam grabbed him by the arm. You don't seriously think Kerwin's going to let you anywhere near Spencer, do you? Did you hear nothing I said? I heard everything you said. And yeah, I know I'm off the case, but there's no way I'm letting Edward anywhere near Spencer if I'm not close by, officially or unofficially, partner. And I'd like to think you'll keep me in the loop. Yes, wouldn't you like to do that? Me in the loop. Me in the loop. Liam worked his jaw, but said nothing for a bit. Then finally he groaned and blew out a frustrated sigh. Whatever. Let me know what you need and I'll add it to the mountain of other stuff I'm juggling. And I'll try and keep Cohen off your ass. Jesus Christ, you're a stubborn bastard. Mark's face split in a huge grin. Like he didn't already know that? Shut up! Liam released his hold on Mark's arm. But ghost me again and you're on your own. And just so you know, if this all goes tits up, I won't go down with you. I have a family, asshole. Mark gave him a serious nod. I wouldn't let you. And thanks. He pulled Liam into a loose, one-armed hug that protected his ribs and chuckled at the man's jerk of surprise. It took a second before Liam relaxed and another before Mark realized he'd kept Liam at arm's length for the entire 8 months they'd partnered, always unsure where Liam stood on the whole LGBT thing. Now he couldn't understand why. Why? Understand why? They'd crossed a bridge, and it felt good. Really good. Scared. Why do I have to make mistake? I don't like it. Really good. Really good. Really good. Scared of the gay cooties, partner? He teased. Liam snorted and shoved Mark away. As if, dipstick. Scared your dismal dress sense might rub off on me more like. That was more like it. This was a Liam that Mark was going to enjoy partnering, if he didn't get himself fired first. Oh, no. Excuse me. Self-fired first? If you can get himself fired first. First? Yeah, you tell yourself that, straight boy. Come on, let's go. Fuck. First? Yeah, you tell yourself that, straight boy. Come on, let's go appall the others with my lack of common sense. Which was possibly less of a joke than he thought, judging by the gaping mouth on his best friend, unused to seeing this side of Mark at work. And Edward? Edward was busy studying Liam with something pretty damn close to annoyance. Ha! Edward talked a big game, all that aloof, I don't care, leave it up to you shit. But there was no mistaking the possessive heat in the gaze that now fell his way. Edward Newton wanted Mark. End of story. He winked at the other man and a puff of pink blossomed on those cute-as-a-button cheeks, a second before Edward scowled and turned away. Mark smiled to himself. Oh, yeah. Game on. Game on, baby. Game on, bitch. If you're not following the story, these two boys like each other, but they're taking it slow, and Edward's trying to be aloof. but it's not working. Not even a little bit. For poor Eddie. Also, don't call him Eddie. He does not like it. Game on. As it turned out, neither Josh nor Liam had much more to offer in the way of promising leads from the night before. The crime scene techs had finished with the house, taken prints and blood samples, but Mark pretty much knew there'd be a washout. Both he and Edward had their prints on file for comparison already, and Josh had grabbed a couple of personal items to lift the house owner's prints, but the intruder had worn gloves, Mark was sure. Fuck. I don't know if you could hear that on your end, but... Prince. Fuck. Prince. There was a click. A big click. To lift the house owner's prints. And it got into the recording, and I can't remove it, so I'm just going to have to record the line. House owner's prints. But the intruder had worn gloves, Mark was sure. On top of that, no gun had been found and no sign of the laptops or paperwork, so either Mark was wrong about the gun or the intruder had gone back to retrieve it, a thought that had him squirming. As for his laptop, it was well enough encrypted, and as soon as it was taken online, the police techies would be able to lock it up and wipe it remotely. He'd need to check about Edwards. He'd need to check about Edwards' laptop, encrypted. I don't know. Who knows? Check about Edwards. Hoping for a scent trail, Josh had run Paris. Check about Edwards. Hoping for a scent trail, Josh had run Paris. But the only track the shepherd picked up stopped just short of the beach public car park next to the house. And there was nothing at the pools, although the techs had managed to fuckity fucker fuck foo. Nah! Excuse me. House. Next to the house. And there was nothing at the pools, although the techs had managed a cast of the vehicle's tires from the grass, and one neighbour had caught sight of a dark-coloured four-door sedan, navy or dark green, she thought, but couldn't be sure. Nothing else. There was nothing to track. Josh rounded the desk with Paris, as police dog glues to his... Fuck! Track. Josh rounded the desk with Paris, as police dog glued to his side. Conjoined twins had nothing on these two. The shepherd stretched his nose to Mark's hand and gave it a friendly smooch. Mark was at Josh's house almost as much as his own, and had to be pushing uncle status at the very least. More in these moments when... At the very least. More in those moments he was sneaking dog... Fuck. At the very least. More in those moments he was sneaking the dog illegal tidbits from the table, but the less said about that, the better. The better. My goodness gracious. Right. Let's keep a-going. The better. About that, the better. Hey, darling. He rubbed the dog. About that, the better. Hey, darling. He roughed the dog's ears. Do you suppose I'm still treating you okay? I've a girl stashed away to introduce you to, if you play your cards right. Paris cocked his head, ears pricked, totally focused on Mark's every word. Beside him, Edward snorted. All I'm going to say is he'd better like them big and bossy. Tinker's no shrinking violet. Mark dropped his voice to a whisper. Don't listen to him. I've heard she might have a thing for men in uniform. Paris whined and rubbed his nose along Mark's thigh. It's true, I swear. Edward elbowed him gently. You're a dog, you know that, right? Bowed him gently. You're a dork. You know that, right? Mark turned and dropped his voice to a whisper. I think you like that about me, Edward. Edward's neck went red. Maybe like it a lot. Edward's gaze fell away. As I said, you're a dork. I hate to interrupt this tete-a-tete. Josh flicked an interested gaze between the two of them, accompanied by a curious half smile, and Mark knew he'd need to be more careful around his astute friend. The last thing he needed was Josh all up in his business. Cam was bad enough. But Paris and I have an invitation to a drug bust in about an hour. So can we wrap this up? What's the plan other than keeping you two alive? Well, there's a lofty plan. Alive. Mark flicked Liam a look, passing the question along, and his partner gave a weary sigh. Don't know why you're handling this to me. Sigh. The hell? Sigh. Don't know why you're handing this to me. We all know you top from the bottom, asshole. Mark nearly fell off his chair, while Edward choked on the dregs of his coffee, delivering a spray over Paris, who promptly shook, coating everything. Fuck! Bastard. Sigh. Don't know why you're handing this to me. We all know you top from the bottom, asshole. Mark nearly fell off his chair, while Edward choked on the dregs of his coffee, delivering a spray over Paris, who promptly shook, coating everything Edward happened to have missed. Liam stared around the small group and laughed. What? Just because I'm not gay doesn't mean I'm down. Fuck's sake. I just want to say the sentences. What? Just laughed. Small group and laughed. What? Just because I'm not gay doesn't mean I'm not down with the lingo, you losers. Excuse. Miscuse. Losers? Losers! Here we go. Yeah. Losers. Where is losers? You losers? Mark was brushing Edward's coffee off his shirt. Jesus, Liam. Your face lights up beetroot. Fuck. You losers? Mark was busy brushing Edward's coffee off his shirt. Jesus, Liam. Your face lights up beetroot if I even stare at some guy too long. That's because you've crap taste and I'm embarrassed to be seen with you. I'd rather not hear the details about anyone's sex life, not just yours, so get over yourself. Huh. So Liam wasn't quite the prude Mark had thought he was. Liam continued. You guys might have the inside line on Adam Green and whatever Tom Spencer says about that doctored report, but you're off this case, Mark, so it'll be me on that meeting, understand? Me. Case, Mark. We can't allow shit performances in the book. That's a rule about being an audiobook narrator. No shit performances, please. So I'll have to see what the fucking thing turns out. It's all right. I think they're turning out good. People enjoying them. That's the main thing. Boo. This case, Mark. So it'll be me in on that meeting, understand? We have no idea what Spencer intends to say or do. I want Edward set up with a listening device and I'll be right outside his fucking door. Mark steeled. I'll be there too. As long as you keep it zipped and take a back seat. Understand? Like hell. He nodded. Good. After that, I'll hit up Green's wife with a few questions about her husband's suicide, and you meet me at Rowan's Fuck. He nodded. Good. After that, I'll hit up Green's wife with a few questions about her husband's suicide, and you meet me at Rowan's Bridge. Fuck! He nodded. Good. After that, I'll hit up Green's wife with a few questions about her husband's suicide, and you meet me at Rowan Bridges' place to see if we can nail the connection with his wife. Mrs. Green doesn't know you, and I'm not having it bite me in the ass down the track when this whole report fiasco comes up. Evie Bridge at least knows you. She won't think too much of you being there. And as I'm probably laying my career on the line here, you can damn well cough up for lunch. It was a good plan. Mark nodded. Done. You're pretty good at this for a junior partner, you know. He winked. Liam glared. Fuck off, Knight. Mark laughed. What about Morgan and Associates? Yeah, well, we're going to need help regardless of what Kerwin said last night. Things have changed, and I think Kerwin will agree. The warrant for what Bridge worked on is bogged down in legalities because of the sensitive nature of the projects and the fact he hadn't worked at the firm for months. Some mouthfuls in here, let me tell you. We're starting to cruise now. We're at cruising altitude. Holy shit. Oh, I was just looking at the YouTube stream. Goodbye, Susan. Thank you for joining. Now. Oh, where am I? I need to have something that, like, tracks where I was reading from last. For months. We might have to try a different angle. I'll get one of the other guys, maybe Stevens, to revisit and see if Morgan will at least give us access to his company's employment records, and maybe let us talk to Bridges' work colleagues, as long as we avoid fuck. And maybe let us talk to revisit. To revisit. Revisit. Stevens to revisit. And see if Morgan will at least give us access to his company's employment records, and maybe let us talk to Bridges' work colleagues, as long as we avoid the contract project information and keep it personal, around his friendships and character. It fits as a normal line of inquiry, with Bridge being a murder victim, so it shouldn't raise any flags to interested parties. Leastways, there's no harm in trying, and if Morgan shuts us down again, we'll just file for a warrant. Let's get on it. Josh reached over and dragged a couple of gym bags from under the desk. I'll try and catch you at Bridges, but if I'm not, I'll call when I'm done. Done. Call when I'm done. He handed Edward a bag, presumably holding some of the man's things from his house. Nice collection of underwear you had there, Doc. Edward's cheeks instantly flamed, much to Mark's amusement. Josh handed him the second bag. Can't say the same about yours, sadly. Ha! You just wish you had my taste, loser. Nope. Michael wouldn't let me inside the house. We have standards, you know. Mark flipped him off. Josh simply grinned and handed each of them a prepaid cell. Anyone who needs to get a hold of you on you... Bleh, bleh, bleh. Cell. Prepaid cell. Anyone who needs to get hold of you uses these numbers. Let them know. Liam will keep your personal cells on him, so give him your passcodes or whatever he can to check if he needs to. No. Your personal cells on him. Let them know. Liam will have your personal cells on him, so give him your passcodes or whatever, so he can check if he needs to. Mark took it and frowned. You sure they're necessary? As soon as the Why do I have to breathe so loud? Can you answer me that? Can you? Oh, shit and ball sacks. Let me tell you about the shit and the ball sacks. There we go. Mark took it and frowned. You sure they're necessary? As soon as the info on that flash drive hits our system this morning, whoever was after it is done. There's not much point in them pursuing us any longer to keep it quiet. It's too late. It was Liam who answered. We're not taking any chances. As you said, we have no idea what the reason is. Fuck. Chances. Well, that just deleted a whole ton of shit I didn't want it to delete. How dare you, Studio One? Chances. Taking any chances. As you said, we have no idea what the reason is behind the doctored reports, which have yet to be substantiated, remember? And we've no idea what the connection between the two men is, if there even is one. So I'm taking no chances on your safety until we do. And that means you keep staying at your friend's place too, got it? Understood. I'll also need a copy of the files again and a spare laptop. Please. Liam sent him a look, then sighed. What the fuck ever. I'll have them ready before you go. Thanks, partner. Don't. Just don't. You owe me big time, Knight. Not to mention, now that you're injured, who the hell's going to play second base tomorrow? Your husband? Liam stabbed a finger Josh's way. Is going to have a flying fit. You know he's umpiring. No! Fit. 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 You know he's umpiring tomorrow. Fuck. Fit. You know he's umpiring, right? Which means he can't play himself. Jesus Christ, we're mincemeat. The grin Josh sent Liam gave new meaning to the term wicked. Don't worry, it's date night tonight. I'll soften him up, then tell him. Liam snorted. Muzzle him would be more helpful. Edward cocked a brow Mark's way. Softball? Mark shrugged. Fast pitch. The station has a team in the league. Really? Well, hell. You're going to have to invite me to a game now. To a game now? Mark frowned. Not sure that was a good idea at all, judging by the shit-eating grin Edward wore. Maybe. We'll see. They stared at each other for a minute longer, the sexual tension between them about as subtle as a fucking sledgehammer, before a throat cleared beside Mark, so Before a throat cleared beside Mark, and Edward's gaze slid sideways. No. I just don't like... Before a throat cleared beside Mark, and Edward's gaze sideways. So, Edward. Mark could hear the knowing amusement in Josh's tone. Jesus Christ, could the two of them have been more obvious? He was never going to live this down. You can get that door fixed any time you like, now that the techs are done. And you better let the alarm guys know and change the code. Do the owners know yet? Edward winced. Not yet. I'll call this morning or send an email. I haven't checked the time zones. They spent the next few minutes transferring the numbers they needed to the new phones. Then Josh headed out, and Mark and Edward took their gear to the locker room to change into fresh clothes before getting their statements done. I'm getting my statement done today, darling. Done. Did you know? Yes, it happens sometimes. I get my statements done. Oh, love, you get your statements done? It's beautiful, isn't it? It's done. I don't know why. That is where my mind went. Statements done. An hour later, Mark was thinking that maybe, just maybe, they'd get out of there without even laying eyes on their boss, until Kerwin walked out of the elevator and silence hit the detective's enclave like an executioner's axe. The minute he spotted Mark, DCI Kerwin made a beeline for the little group, and Mark cursed under his breath. If only they'd left 5 minutes before. But the ragged concern on his boss's face had him immediately second-guessing any suspicions he'd harbored about the man. Rick Kerwin looked like he'd been up all night. Tight lines framed a pair of irritated eyes that blinked repeatedly, as if trying to clear a thick layer of grit, while he stood, fuck! Of grit. Thick layer of grit. A thick layer of grit. Wah! What's next? A thick layer of grit. While a shock of red curls of grit. While a thick layer of grit. While the shock of red curls looked like they'd had little more than the man's 5 fingers for a comb since the night before. And yeah, Mark felt a bit guilty knowing he was likely responsible. The DCI grabbed both Mark's biceps and squeezed. I don't remember what Kerwin sounds like, but I have a reference track. The man seems to have good instincts. And that's all we need. Squeezed. Thank Christ, he frowned. You okay? Fuck. Okay. A bit of bruising. Is that what they call broken ribs these days? Shit. Okay. A bit of bruising. Is that what they call broken ribs these days? Josh piped up. Kerwin's gaze narrowed. Broken ribs? Have you had them checked out? Mark threw Josh a pointed glare. Most likely just bruised. And not yet, but it's next on the list. Kerwin stared at him for another long couple of seconds, then turned his attention to Edward. And you took a solid hit to the head, I heard. Edward nodded. A slight concussion. Nothing more. We're headed to Auckland Med after this, Mark told his boss. Just wanted to get a statements done. That's how we say HMMPH. Ooh. Cohen's lips formed a tight line. Those should have been done last night. Do you understand how worried I've been, or how embarrassing it was to call Commander Stables and tell him one of my detectives and our pathologist, he cast an eye over Edward, who returned a blank stare, had been attacked? And that no, I didn't know the extent of their injuries, and no, I didn't know where the hell they were, and no, I hadn't received a personal update from either of them, and forget it. Are your statements done now? Just finished, sir. Good. My office now, detectives. I want an update. You too, Dr. Newton. Fuck. Mark tucked his tail between his legs and followed, Edward and Liam at his back. Boom, bitches! We done! I don't know why that's a tone of defiance. We done! We are Dunyan rings, baby! We is done with all these rings. But then Liam at his back. Dunyan rings. Dunyan rings. I'm sorry. I really like the term Dunyan rings. Oh shit. What just happened? Oh. Alright, well, at least the fuckers, let's just make sure that's... Mark tucked his tail between it. And we are finished, ladies and gentlemen. On the fucking dot, maybe. Well, kind of. So, let me see. What do we have here? 35 is the fuck counter. That's Shadow. That Shadow's annoying me. Shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there! Wow. Stupid bastard. Anyway. Oh, we'll get rid of that. And I'm in blackness. Darkness. Hold on. Let's make this massive. Huge! There. This can just be looking at this attractive man's face. How's it going, son? That's what he would sound like if he's from a... So here's the fuck counter. Right there beside me. 35 times the word fuck was said because of mistakes. That's insane. Anyway, thank you for sticking around, even those two of you who are still left at the very end. I will be streaming in 2 odd weeks, but I'll put up those events. This book is done. Auckland Med 4. Is that correct? 4? Yeah. Auckland Med 4 is coming soon. That's being recorded next. And then I'm going to be doing some books by John Wiltshire, the More Heat Than the Sun series. Continuing that from book 4. So if you haven't listened to or read books 1 to 3, do it. Do it. Other than that, thanks for hanging around. See y'all later. Bye! Wait a minute. We're at 59 minutes. I want to wait till they get the full hour. So we'll just move this guy. Whoa! Look at this. I'm just like in a black void. Hello? Anybody there? Oh my god. I can't see anything. I wonder if that's driven the last of the last people off. Oh, 30 more seconds left and we'll have done the full hour, and that is an accomplishment. So I'm going to stay here for the full hour in my void. Here I am, just in nothingness. Whatever shall I do? 5 seconds. In the void. Now we've got 3 viewers. When it's over and I'm in a void, a literal black void. It's okay. Thank you for joining. And I will see you all with the next one, and I'll hopefully post it more effectively so there's more notice. And then you'll all show up, all 15 of you, if ever I could hope for such numbers. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.